Welcome to the Spiritual AF Life podcast, a magical place where your host, Heather Danielle, psychic medium, will bring the mystical woo-woo world down to earth in practical ways. Tune in every Monday for your weekly reading and on Wednesdays to hear fascinating conversations with spiritual experts, uplifting stories, and deep dives into the metaphysical world, all to help you tap into the invisible guidance that's all around you. It's time to start living a spiritual AF life. Get cozy, the conversation is starting now.
Should you know about the week ahead? What kind of insight and guidance and advice do your spirit guides, past loved ones, and angels have for you for this week? Well, to help me find out these answers, I actually wanted to grab a different deck. But guess what? I just now realized I grabbed a completely different deck. And so now I have to basically trust that this is the deck that we are supposed to be using for this week. And it is the Guardian Angel Messages. And it's actually a tarot deck by Radleigh Valentine. So if you were able to join us for Coffee and Cards on Sunday, then you've seen me use this deck. And it's an okay deck. It's not my favorite. As you know, I'm more of an Oracle card girl as compared to a tarot card. And I also don't know this deck very well, but it is apparently written in the stars for us to use this deck this week. All right, so before we get started, I do have to let you know that there is a lot of fun happening in the Coffee and Cards Club. We are actually meeting this coming up weekend in Florida, but if you can't make it, we are trying to find a very awesome event to have here in Michigan. So definitely check out the club. The link will be in the show notes. We're having a lot of fun with our 2 circles every month and also office hours once a month. And then there's a section of the club that where you can have your free Oracle 101 course, and you have like other little mini courses and a whole bunch of really cool things that basically I release every single month. And so now all of that goodness is still in the archives and you can just gobble it all up. Everything from astrology and zodiac to, how to bring spiritual stuff into your life, how to read cards, how to give readings, even for yourself or for other people. So there's lots of goodness. And so check out the link in the show notes. And if you have any questions, then feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so now we have got to get to this week's reading. Okay, so Monday's card, I cannot believe, came up. Monday's card is Ace of Fire. And if you were on Coffee and Cards on Sunday, oh my gosh, this is the card that kept on coming up. It's the one that has like the little girl in the pink dress with like that angel behind her. And the Ace of Fire is talking about opportunity, creativity, and action. Okay. And now this is giving me a little bit of a different vibe than I got when it came up during Coffee and Cards. Definitely still feel like a woman in spirit that's helping to guide you, wanting you to know that you followed like in her footsteps in some sort of a way. So I definitely feel like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree with whatever you're doing, especially in terms of putting so much on your plate. But on Monday, I feel like there's going to be opportunities for you to be more patient. I feel like there's an opportunity for you to have a lot of soul growth. And on Monday, this is a day to take action. All right. So listening to me right now, this is not a day to like sit on the couch and to like catch up on your Netflix. This is going to be a day to really get things done. When you think that you have other days this week to get everything done, I don't know what's going on. We'll go ahead and read the other days of this week, but it seems like, man, you know what? You probably won't have as much time as you think you do at the end of the week, and you should be getting this stuff done now, today. Don't put it off. Okay, so if you have anything that you have a deadline for, definitely see if you can get a big hunk of that done today. And I'm also just feeling too like a need to be like nicer to yourself. That's still coming up, to really embrace your inner child and to have a little bit of fun. If you have any opportunities coming up on Monday, whether it's a new job, new school situation, new whatever, go ahead and look at like it from the eyes of a child. Okay, don't look at it like what could go wrong. Look at the possibilities. That is the big thing that's coming up. And just know that if opportunities and things like that are presented to you, especially today, trust that they're coming to you for a reason. And it does not necessarily mean that it is all going to work out and it's happy-go-lucky and things like that, but it totally means that you are being tested with your frame of mind and your way of thinking. It's like they might even, like, what is it called? Like dabble the carrot right in front of you to see if you will go after it. And then you'll keep on fighting for that carrot. Okay. So it's almost like they might be putting something in your life to see and to test you into seeing if you feel like you are good enough for it, if you are worthy enough for it. And then it might not be that thing, but then it's going to be something else that's even bigger and better. So whatever you do, and even if you're confused by what I'm saying right now, just take those opportunities. So that means go ahead and, take that job interview. Doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to take it, but go ahead and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am up for, a promotion, or maybe I am feeling really good about this or that. And then just to see where it leads. And then it might lead you to realizing that that's not what you want at all. You might realize, yep, I don't even know why that I was so gung ho about this, because, when I went into the interview and things like that, like, oh no, it was just bad energy. But there might be something there to where they want you to go down this path so that you can at least have some closure. Does that make sense? And this could be in the terms of any kind of anything, like with friendships, meeting someone you haven't met in a long time, accepting this and that, just going down those paths. And then you actually might see, like, oh, okay, yep, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And then you can retreat. All right, so that is Monday's card. Tuesday's card is the Two of Fire, and it is planning, partnering, and progress. Okay, so this card is actually giving me the same kind of vibes as it did during Coffee and Cards. So this is talking about a male in spirit that is with you, and then I also feel like they are trying to get you to be a little bit more confident in yourself. Confidence is a big thing in knowing that you are worthy, and to really like step up your game a little bit. But you just have to have a plan in place. So even like, I don't know why, I'm just getting this thing like you have a vague idea of what you want to do and where you want to be and like what you want to be when you grow up and those kinds of things. But it's almost like you need to have that vision be a little bit more clearer. And so instead of keep on making so many choices and decisions and things like that with a vague focus of where you want to be, you need to have that focus come a little bit more clearer. And then you need to create a plan. And then you need to make sure that you're not doing it by yourself. So that means that you need to either hire somebody, consult with someone to get you there. All right. So it might be someone that you can talk to one-on-one, like a mentor, some kind of coach, still feeling therapy as well. I didn't bring this up in Coffee and Cards, but I think that two is standing together. See, I was going to say two is about coming together. It says standing together. So sometimes it can represent February or the 2nd, but right now I really just feel like it means coming together. And so it can really come together, but it's just a little bit of your focus needs to come into place, and then you need a little bit more help. So whatever you are trying to accomplish in your life right now, you may need a little bit of help. So that means even hiring somebody to help clean your house, even if it's like once a month, even hiring a family member to do it, holding your kids accountable and having them do some chores to get that off of your plate. So it can be little things like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you hiring a team or, manager or whatever it is. So keep that in mind for Tuesday. You definitely need to talk to somebody. I definitely feel at the very least you need a sounding board on Tuesday just to help you focus in, get a little bit more clarity, and then just understand maybe why some of like the hiccups are happening. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Wednesday, and Wednesday's card. I don't know this card deck very well, but I can tell you this is a major arcana card. All right. And it is number 17, and it is the Star. And it says inspiration, fulfillment, and faith. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't even love this card anymore. If you can look on my Instagram or on my Facebook for this card, you are going to love it. I feel like the art is better than the traditional tarot cards for the Star. I love this. So on Wednesday, this is going to be talking about you starting on a new journey, a new beginning. There's something there on Wednesday where it's going to be a major shift, whether or not that you realize it or not, it is happening. I also feel like the moon cycles and astrology is really kind of crazy. We have to harness that energy. So any kind of new moons and full moons coming up, this is going to be your sign to make sure that you are harnessing its power. It also might be a very emotional day for some of us. All right. So making sure that we get those emotions out. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. So we have to keep them flowing. And for some reason, it just might be. I also feel too, making sure that you are going to your doctor's checkups. Okay. So this is your reminder to make those appointments that you have been putting off. Okay. I also feel a lot of growth that's happening on Wednesday. If you have any plans that are coming up for Wednesday or going into the week, into the weekend, don't retreat. All right, don't retreat. This is going to be a time to keep on stepping it up. No matter if you're nervous, you're excited, all those kinds of things, keep on going, okay? Because I feel like Spirit is trying to get you more to where you want to go. And even if you don't have that focus, it's like Spirit kind of can feel your energy and knows what your soul and your heart truly wants, even if you don't realize that you want it yet. And so, but basically what they're saying is like, don't cancel plans. Don't try to make up excuses. If you have, plans to meet a friend or your family get together or whatever it is, don't cancel on it, okay? I feel like you need to go to this. All right, now we're moving on to Thursday's card, which is number 13. It is released and it has a freaking phoenix on it. So excited. Love the phoenix. And it says endings, transformation, and freedom. Whew. Big card here. I feel a lot of emotions with Thursday too. I feel a lot of past loved ones like coming through to be with you and then to the family, those kinds of things. But then I also feel like for a lot of us, it is going to be a day to where we have released a lot of the things that are holding us back. So maybe, we felt hormonal or whatever during the beginning of the week and now it is released. I feel like there's transformations and the endings is really standing out to me. But then I also feel like for a lot of us too, it's going to be for good reasons. It's like we're going to finally feel like we have overcome some of our hiccups, that we've overcome some of our challenges. It's going to feel a lot better. And then for some of us, I just feel like, we might have to notice that some people are leaving our lives and things like that, and to trust that they're leaving our lives for a reason. And at number 13 is standing out as well. So keep your eye on that. A lot of times people feel like 13 is their lucky number, and that could be something that's going on with you. And I also feel smells are really big with Spirit. So making sure that you're paying attention to any kind of smells that come up for you. All right, and now on Friday's card is renewal, and it is number 20, reflection, self-evaluation, and rebirth. Wow. If you could see these cards like all in a row, it is really crazy because there's major arcana cards that are happening at the end of the week. So that talks about major changes, major craziness. I don't want to say craziness, but that's how major changes feel. They kind of feel like they're crazy, So it's happening at the end of the week. And then with the 20 coming up. And this is really giving me that vibes of maybe you're going to feel refreshed. You're going to have some answers and you might feel renewed on Friday. Okay. Friday, I feel by this time you've gotten a lot of those emotions out and maybe you're looking to the heavens. That's kind of thing that I'm getting. I'm getting like a lot of spiritual connection on Friday. I feel like there's a lot of questions and a lot of answers that you are looking for, and you're looking for the heavens. I feel like angels are really around us on Friday. I feel like they're just letting us know that they can hear us. And if we could take some time to make sure that our mind is a little bit more tame so that we're able to actually hear them talking to us. This is going to be a great day to have a crying fest if you need to get out any of those excess emotions, or journaling would be very, very good on Friday. Any kind of exercise, going for a walk, connecting with nature. This is going to be so good from outside. And I also feel too, people being your mirrors on Friday. So for some of us, we're really going to have to like look at that reflection and what people are showing us within ourselves. That's a big one. And I would totally look for signs that Spirit is with you on Friday. Everything from, the feathers for the angels, and then also just seeing birds as well as a really big sign, especially going into Friday. Overall, I really feel like this week is a very spiritual week. And then I also just have to caution us for not getting too much in our mind, okay? We really have to trust in the bigger picture this week, okay? We have to trust that things are happening for us and not to us. We just really have to trust in that. That is the biggest thing. And I feel like a lot of twos and a lot of ones. So ones are about new beginnings and twos about coming together. Okay. So even if we might not understand things right now, who knows? It can make sense, coming up this week or sometime later on. Like sometimes I do readings and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this really makes any sense until maybe even a few weeks later. So definitely keep that in mind with anything that has stood out to you during this reading, because I do feel like it's going to make more sense to you. If not now, this coming up week, if not in another week or two, for some reason, And this reading specifically, I feel is not going to be just for this week, but I feel like the energy from these cards are going to be for the next couple of weeks. So who knows, maybe they're letting you know this right now because you're going to miss next week's reading. And so they want you to make sure that you had all of the guidance and the messages for you right now while you're listening. But again, very, very spiritual. You have to reach out to the angels. And even if you just pray and you're just talking to them and you're not really sure if anyone's listening on the other side, they are. So just kind of trust that and then just keep on doing it because they want to help you out, but they cannot intervene without your permission. All right, so I hope that you have loved this reading, and definitely make sure that you check out the cards on the Instagram, which is spiritual_Heather Danielle, or going Heather Danielle Psychic Medium on Facebook. And I will see you on Wednesday for a special treat.
Thanks for tuning in to the Spiritual AF Life podcast. You'll find all the links to resources and more in the show notes. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the incredible episodes that are coming up.